Okay, for this video, I'm going to introduce the impact drivers used in the testing. I have 5 of them. It's a long story how I ended up with 5. I can go over it if somebody wants me to go over it. The first one is the Craftsman, and this is the CMCF 813, 0 to 2800 RPMs, 0 to 3500 IPMs. 2 amp hour battery. All the drivers tested today will have a 2 amp hour battery, except for the Flex, which has a 2.5, and that's the closest I could get. I own all of these. I paid for all these. Nobody sponsored this. The bare tool is 2 pounds 1 ounce. With this battery, it's 2 pounds 14 ounces. It has a length of 5 and 17/32, and a width, and I'll use the maximum part, whatever that is 3 and 7/64. Some features: you have a single light, you have one-handed insertion, which is nice. Some of these ones that we're testing don't have that. Some things that set it back: could have a better light system, like a ring or a 3 light. And there are no settings. What you see is what you get. This tool feels good. It'll do for most around the house things, light projects, somewhat middle projects. It's a decent tool. Okay, next on the list, and the reason that I had 5 impact drivers, is the Flex. And this is the FX1331. This is the newest one that I have. I got it, the display model, for just over $13, and that's why I picked up a 5th one. This will be the only one with a bigger than 2 amp battery. It's a 2.5. You have 0 to 1300 to 3000 RPM and 0 to 3800 impacts per minute. Does not have one-handed insertion for the collet, and it has a single light. It's a nice tool. It is heavy, but it's really nice. It feels good. The lack of a better lighting system is holding it back, along with the one-handed collet insertion, which it does not have. It does have settings. You have 2 speeds and a tapping setting. Next, have your Milwaukee M12 fuel. This one is the 3453-20. Specs are coming in at 0 to 3600 RPM, 0 to 4000 IPM, a 2 amp battery. This has a lot going for it. The 3 rings, 3 settings plus a self-tapper. Also has one-handed insertion. Going back to the Flex, you have bare tool, 1 pound 15 ounces with the battery, 3 pounds 6 ounces, which makes it the heaviest one of the 5 that I tested today. You have an overall length from here to here, 5 1/16, and an overall width, which would be down here at the widest point, 3 and 15/32. For the Milwaukee, bare tool, 1 pound 9 ounces with the battery, 1 pound 15 ounces, again 2 amp battery. You have 5 inches from there to there, and at the widest spot, 2 and 9/64. Did not count the clip because you can take the clip off, so, but the tool right there at the widest point. Next on the list is my oldest one. This is about 9 years old. I think this was released in 2017. This and the drill driver that came in the package replaced my Ryobi, which was the first battery tools that I got back in 2004, 2005, the Riley tool cube. If anybody wants to know more about the tool cube, I can go into that in another video. It's an older model. Does not have one-handed insertion for the collet. And it has a light, but just the one light. Now this is the XDT15. You have 0 to 1300 to 3000 RPM, 0 to 1600 to 3900 IPM. I think it was released November 2016. Does have settings. You have your high and your low. You also have an auto mode. So you do have that going for you. 2 amp battery. A lot of people dog on Makita, but this has never given me any problems, and it feels good in the hand. It really is a nice feeling tool. 1 pound, 13 ounces bare tool, 2 pounds, 11 ounces with the battery. You have 5 and 11/32 for here, and 2 and 15/16 wide. Last is Metabo. There is nothing bad to say about the Metabo other than does not have one-handed insertion. If it had that, it would be far and above the nicest one. You have 5 settings, 3 rings. This is the WH18DC, the triple hammer. I fell in love with Metabo last spring when I was able to pick up a drill driver at the Lowe's in Midland, Michigan. It was 10 bucks. They had 7 tools. They were all 10 bucks a piece. I should have bought all 7. I didn't. I ended up with 4 of them. And because of that, I bought a impact driver to match in a kit, but then ended up selling both of those, and I missed it so much. I got a really good deal on this end of last summer, and I picked it up because to me this is the best feeling tool of the bunch, and Metabo makes really good tools. Some specs on this: you have 0 to 3700 RPM, 0 to 4000 IPM, 2 amp battery, bare tool, 1 pound 14 ounces with the battery, 2 pounds 12 ounces. The length from here to here is 4 and 9/16. Width right here, with the battery, it sticks out a little bit more, 3 and 5/32. You have, as far as feel goes, Metabo feels the best to me. Makita and the Flex, M12, and I think M12 is an acquired taste. You either love it or you hate it. I don't hate it. It just, these other ones feel better. The way the battery goes in the handle and the wide there, it just isn't as comfortable as, say, this tool. And then the Craftsman takes up the last place, but I really can't say it because the Craftsman's a good. For the testing, the first test was with a number 10 4-inch wood screw, and what I did is I recorded it. I went back and I timed it with a stopwatch, and I only timed it when the drill was drilling the screw. I didn't count the time in between moving from screw to screw. There were 4 screws, and when you look at the times, Metabo 4.9, Flex 6.5, Craftsman 7.3, Milwaukee 6.9, and the Makita 9.4. So the Makita definitely showed its age in that one. The Milwaukee was strong, beat the Craftsman by 0.4 of a second. Flex was second. Flex is a strong tool, but Metabo, being the shortest tool from collet to back, really did well in that test. The next test that I did was with the 2 structural type of screws. They were both 5 inches. And in the video, I said it was a 3/8 and a quarter. It was not. The black colored screw is a 3/16, and the gold colored one was a 1/4 inch. So 3/16 by 5, 1/4 by 5. And the reason the gold colored screw went in faster on most of these during the testing is that it's a self-tapper. So it went in faster than the 3/16s. On that test, Metabo was 7.6 seconds. Then you had the Flex at 8.7. The Milwaukee, again, for a 12-volt tool, showed really good, 8.9. Makita was 4th with 9.6. And the Craftsman came in last with 12.4. The last test that was done was a 5-inch lag, 1/4 inch. And as far as in and out, Metabo Flex tied going in 6.1, coming out 2.1. Again, the little 12-volt tool really showed what it had, finishing 3rd, 7.3 in, 2.8 out. Craftsman was 4th, 9.2 in, 3.3 out. And the Makita, again, I think it just showed its age, being almost 10 years old. 10.5 in, 3.9 out. This is the Craftsman CMCF 813, a 2 amp-hour Craftsman battery, fully charged. Diablo T25. Has a one-handed insert, which is nice. A single light, and we're doing 4-inch number 10 wood screws. When I get done, I'll go back and I'll put the times in from watching the video. Should add, we're going into 2x6 glued. Top one is treated. Okay, next up is my M12. You have the 34-53-20. This also has one-handed insert. Diablo T25 2.0. I'm going to try and put them all on 2.0, but I have one that I don't have a 2.0 on, which I'll discuss later. Fully charged battery, speed 3. And if these have speed selectors, they will all be on their fastest mode. We have my oldest impact driver, the Makita XD as in dog, T as in Tom, 1.5. Does not have the one hand. Highest setting, full 2 amp battery. Nice. Makita feels good in your hand, but you can tell it started impacting a lot sooner than the other two. Then I have the Flex. It has a 2.5. It's the only one that doesn't have a 2.0, but it's all I have, so it's all I can test. FX 1331. Does not have the one-handed insert. The model after this has the button you push to move the collet. one light. Very powerful, a little heavier, but it's powerful. Okay, I have my Metabo 2 amp battery, fast screw mode, fully charged. Does not have the one-handed insert. You have to pull the collet out. Does have a nice triple light. Again, Diablo bit. These are nice. The Metabos feel nice in your hands, and you can see it did that pretty fast. Okay, for this round of testing, both 5 inches, 3/8, 1/4, no pilot hole, just like there was no pilot hole for the other wood screws. These take T30 bits, switching to a Bosch. First up, Craftsman, again, one-handed insert. Same 2.0 battery. Up next on the 5-inch T30s, Bosch T30 bit would be my M12. One hand insert again. Nice triple light. Speed 3. 2 amp battery. Not too bad for a 12-volt tool. Up next on the 5-inch screws, T30, same Bosch T30, my Makita 2.0. Next on the 5-inch 3/8, 1/4 will be the Flex. No one-handed insert. Fastest speed, 2.5 battery. Okay, last but not least, on the 5-inch screws, 3/8, 1/4, Metabo. Again, two-handed insert, full battery 2.0. Fast, nice. They're all nice, but some stand out a little more. Okay, depending on your application, the right tool probably would be a drill. If you're on the ground, you're not on the ladder. It's a Flex, turbo hammer, DeWalt T30, and just see what this does compared to those impact drivers. Like night and day. Okay, for this round of testing, I have a 5-inch by 1/4 lag. There were 5 30-second pilot holes drilled. I have 5 of them for the 5 impact drivers. First up will be the Craftsman. I have a Work Pro 3/8, one-handed, and a hyper tough 1/2 inch impact socket. Next up will be the M12 2.0 battery, one-handed insert, Work Pro, hyper tough. Very powerful for a 12-volt tool. Okay, up next, the Makita 2.0 battery, same setup, Work Pro, hyper tough, two-handed insertion. Not bad for the oldest tool that I'm testing today. Okay, Flex, two-handed insertion, Work Pro, hyper tough, 5 inch by 1/4. Very powerful. Okay, up next, Metabo triple hammer, 2.0 battery, still fully charged, two-handed, Work Pro, hyper tough. That was fast. Thing I would like to point out is you really have to question, is an impact driver really the right tool for those type of tests? Well, yeah, for a test, yes, but an actual job, I think they're lighter. They do have a purpose. They're louder. But what I did was I pulled out the Flex hammer drill, 1,400 inch-pounds. This thing is an absolute monster. And what I did was I ran the screws in and out, and as this went with the same 2.5 battery, 2.3 seconds. So it blew any of the impacts out of the water. Is this even the right tool? You would have to decide that. It feels good. It's heavy. It's way heavier than any of the impacts. But as far as speed, none of the impacts could touch it. Now, as far as my overall rankings, again, my opinion, my test, my tools, Metabo, #1. If it had one-handed collet insertion, it would by far, in a way, blow the other 4 out of the water. Because it does not have the one-handed collet insertion, it holds it back a little bit. But with the feel, the settings, the tri-light, very nice. Second, I have to go with the Flex. At the settings, feels good, powerful, speed. Single light holds it back, along with two-handed collet insertion, which does not have the one-handed. Then, tied for third is going to be Milwaukee. This has a place. Settings, light, one-handed insertion. It's just not as powerful as some of the 20 volt, 24 volt stuff, 18 volt stuff, but it's a nice tool. They actually hold their own. And the Makita, you have the settings, the feel of a Makita tool. It just, unless you've tried one, I don't really know. Some people complain it's a little small if their hands are big. I don't have small hands, but yet, and it is a little tight. I do get a little close there, but the feel of these is tremendous. Then in last place is going to be the Craftsman, but not a lot. If I didn't have any of the other four, Craftsman would be easily the choice for anything to do. Obviously it'd be the only choice, but it's a nice tool. It felt good, did the job, but compared to the other ones, it just, all it had going for it was the one-handed collet insertion. So that is the end of this testing, this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and those are my 5 impact drivers.